Hey there, everyone. I'm Ashley.
And I'm Amber.
We're identical twin sisters from Southern California. While we may look exactly alike, sometimes we think that's all we have in common.
We invite you to grab a cup of coffee
Or a glass of wine.
and hang out with us for a little bit.
This is Hashtag Twin Life Podcast.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Twin. How are you?
I am doing well. How are you?
Good. I am doing very well. Happy Sunday. We are recording on a Sunday.
We are
I feel like
recording on Sundays, I feel like.
Yeah. I feel like we used to record, like, we were starting to record just kind of like whenever, and now I think it's going to be Sundays again, but I think it'll work out.
Yeah.
But hello to everyone listening. Thank you so much for tuning into the Hashtag Twin Life Podcast. I am Ashley, and over there is my twin Amber.
Hello.
And we are the hosts of this podcast. If you haven't already, please subscribe and go down to the description box where you can find all the ways that you can find us and chat with us, including the new vlog that I've been doing, or new YouTube channel that I've started for the Schweitzer Family Vlog. So, yeah, I think that covers all of the housekeeping situations. But how was your week, twin?
Good. I have some really good news that I think I'll leave for my Go Girl this week. But we were at church. We were just at church. We just got back from church. We decided to start they call it the growth plan, but it's like the membership. If anyone's ever been to a non-denominational church, you know that they make you go through a membership sort of course, basically.
Class.
Yeah. So they explain to you like what the view and the mission is of that specific church to make sure that what you believe aligns with what they believe and make sure that's a good fit for you. And then they also give you information about how to be involved. And there's like so many ways at iTown to be involved. They have groups I've never heard of. Like a lot of the stuff that they have groups for are things that I thought were paid positions. Like a lot of the people that do stuff, like there's police officers that literally they volunteer to spend hours of their day. The chief of Noblesville Police comes to church and he watches the toddler room. That's like key card entry only. Like after.
Oh, that's so cute.
Yeah, and he comes and he was like, he monitors because you're like, they give you stickers with your kid's corresponding name on it or a ID number on there. And so you're not allowed back there. If you don't have a kid back there and a sticker that says you have a kid back there, you're not allowed back there. So, but it's just a really cool church. So we did that this morning. And then we also had like a group of couples over on Friday from church too. And we had a lot of fun with that. We hosted, and Landon was a freaking trooper. He passed out at 7 and he stayed asleep. I think he wanted juice at like 11 o'clock and then he was out. So he was a pro. He allowed us to have literally 8 loud adults inside the house talking and like all that stuff and just slept right through it. So that was actually really nice to be able to feel like we could have people over and not really worry too hard about Landon not being able to get sleep or us being too loud. So we enjoyed that.
Yeah.
How was your week?
That's awesome. My week was really good. I'm trying to think of stuff that happened this week. We had Phoenix's class like we always do on Tuesdays and Thursdays. He's been doing really good. Just like I can tell like things where he's improved, where like his coordination and everything have gotten a lot better. We had was my play date last Saturday?
Yeah.
Yeah, but we talked about it on Wednesday's podcast because we recorded after that. So we had that. Yeah, I mean, nothing's really happened so far since like the last podcast went up on Wednesday. So
that's fine.
It's just been kind of a regular week. Oh, I did put up a video on cleaning out my fridge. So that was nice. And it's like all organized. And I put everything into like squeeze bottles, all of our condiments into squeeze bottles, which is actually surprisingly, like I see why they do it in restaurants now. It's incredibly efficient. Like,
yeah.
Like when I'm making a sandwich and stuff, I'm like, I just bring out 2 bottles, I squeeze them, I throw them back in there. Like it's literally, and it's not as messy because like, you know, it doesn't have like those regular tops on it. So it doesn't build up like all that buildup that happens when you like shut the thing. And, yeah, I don't know. And then it's easier for Phoenix too, because it's like the tip is so small. So like if he's going to get ranch or he's going to get sauce, like it's not like a big like block situation. Yeah. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you guys want to see that video, go check it out. Like I said, that's our new family YouTube channel. That video is up. And yeah. So I think that's pretty much all that's going on this week, but I did want to go ahead and jump into the topic because I've been very interested lately in people's sleep because, well, not people's sleep, my sleep particularly. Throughout my studying for my certification, I have been reading, there was a good long section in there about ways to take care of your body besides fitness, like hydration, and one of the big ones was drinking water as well, was sleep as well. And I just felt like we would just like dive into like kind of how our sleep has changed from like, I don't know, our teenage years through our 20s, through our 30s, and having children and all of that. So yeah. So I don't know, what would you say like the biggest in the last, since you've had Landon, like what was your sleep like before you had him? What is your sleep like now? What was your sleep like when he was like a newborn?
So, sleep. So when I was younger, when I was working restaurants and bars a lot, I never went to sleep before 10 o'clock. Like we would go out at 10 o'clock, and we would never go out before 10 o'clock. We used to understand, like I used to feel like if you were
Most
going
people
out,
go out before that.
yeah, what are you doing before 10 o'clock? No one's out. Like that's how I felt. So, if I was asleep before 2 o'clock in the morning, that was an accomplishment for me at one point. And I probably slept till 10, 11, 12, depending on if I had to work. Sometimes I go to bed at 2 and get up, and go to bed at 2 and then still get up at 9 or like 9:30 if I had to be at work at 10, like right before work started, and like jump in the shower really quick and like take the 3-minute drive to work. And like that was the most.
Yeah. Do you have your phone close to your computer?
Yeah. Sorry.
It's okay. Noise? I can just hear the feedback. Yeah.
Oh. So that was kind of how that was. And then when Landon came into my life, obviously there was the whole, there's a little bit of difficulty. I think I had it easier than a lot of people as far as the sleep goes. But it took a lot of undivided focus and timing and logging and journaling and all that stuff to get myself really used to Landon's sleep. But for the first probably 4 months of his life, there was not a lot of consistent sleep going on. It was like 2 hours here, 2 hours there. If I got 4 hours, I was excited. And then by 4 months old, I was getting consistent 6 hours of sleep a night. And then now that he's 3, recently we're in a season right now where my sleep is not the best. Like we have a puppy and Landon. So I'm running off of less sleep than I like. Like I would like to get a full solid 8 hours of sleep. And when I was, let's see, before we moved out here, or actually no, when I was going to F45, which I haven't been at F45 in a couple weeks because I'm going to see my sports medicine doctor on Tuesday. But I tended to get more sleep because I was going to bed a lot earlier because I was getting up at 6, so I'd go to sleep at 8. So I'd make sure Landon was asleep in time for me to be in bed by 8, asleep no later than 9. And I've already seen in the last few weeks that I'm like not prioritizing my sleep. Like Blake and I have been going to sleep a lot later, like 11 midnight, and it's making me so tired because whether I go to sleep at 11 or 12, Landon's still getting up at 6 or 7 in the morning. Like my dog still has to go out at like 5 in the morning. So I just know that I need to be getting more sleep, but I just haven't really been in the last couple weeks. But when I was going to sleep earlier at 8, like even if Landon woke up for juice at 2, I've already gotten 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
6 hours of sleep. You know what I mean? So like I've already gotten 6 hours of sleep. So if he wakes me up at 2 and wants juice, I've already gotten 6 hours of sleep. So I'm doing okay. Get him his juice. I go back to sleep till 5. Now I've gotten 8-9 hours of sleep, So I need to get back to going to sleep no later than 9 o'clock, But
yeah,
that's just it doesn't change. Like Landon's not going to get up any later because I decided to stay up till 11. Like
right.
So that's the main difference is when I would go to sleep super late when it was just Blake and I, or when I was single, I didn't have anything that was guaranteed that's needing my full attention at the same time every day. So it's like I'm on a ticking clock every time I go to sleep. Like,
yeah,
it's all the sleep you're getting, so you better get it where you can get it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think now like sleep for me has become like more and more important, and I think like I've really tried to prioritize that even since Derek and I first got together. It has always been a priority for me. Not when Phoenix was newborn, I did all of the night waking, all of the everything because Phoenix's dad was working for 2 seconds, and so I just wanted to make sure that like he was rested to go to work, and then when he wasn't working anymore, I wanted him to be awake. I don't know. It was like this. It was like when he was working and he wasn't there, I was like, oh, I want you to be able to go to work. And then when he wasn't working and he was there all day, I was like, oh, well, I want you to have energy to be with him during the day, so I'll wake up at night. So it was just kind of like either way, it was like a lose situation. I felt guilty either way. So even when I was working 10 hours, 10, 11, 12, 13 hours a day, I was still doing the night waking and the sleep training and all that stuff. And Phoenix never really slept through the night longer than 3 or 4 hours in a row without waking, probably until he was 3 or 4. And I guess I guess I kind of got used to like not sleeping through the night. There's always something was going to wake me up in about 3 or 4 hours. If it was him wanting to go to the bathroom when he started potty training, or he was thirsty, or he was wet, or we had to change his sheets. He went through a phase when he was like 2.5, 3. I think we were recording the podcast then, where he was waking up in the middle of the night and vomiting for no reason for like a whole year.
Yeah.
So sleep was definitely not great. Hasn't been great most of his life, to be honest, for us, for Derek as well. Derek does better on no sleep than I do, though. He is like, I can sleep for 4 hours and get up at 7, and I am great. And I cannot do that. Even when I was working at restaurants, I couldn't do that. I was like a hot mess. Like if I went to sleep at 3 a.m. and we had to be at work by 10, I was like, this sucks. You know, like there was no way. And some people are like, you have plenty of time. You'll get 5 hours of sleep. Like who can work a 13-hour shift in the heat going up and down stairs on 5 hours of sleep and then do that 3 days in a row? Like I don't understand. So that was pretty much running off of 5-hour energies and various whatever caffeine and that I could get in my body. And then once we weren't working at the Oasis anymore, Derek and I kind of had a conversation about, okay, how are we going to divide up the days and the nights? Because we were both working full time. And so we kind of needed to have that in that situation. It was more like whoever's home is doing the bedtime pretty much. And then the days that I was, so if I was home, basically I did the bedtime, which was only 2 nights a week a lot of the time. And then if he was home, he would do the bedtime. And then once my schedule switched and I was working 5 days a week in the morning from 7 a.m. to 3, 4, what time did I get done? 7 to 6, I'm sorry. From 7 a.m. to 6 p.m., I would go home, hang out with Phoenix for like an hour, and then do bedtime. Christian was with us. Our little sister was there, so she'd do bedtime sometimes too. So Phoenix's sleep was all over the place because it was constantly different people putting him to sleep. And so that was just kind of a hot mess, which affected everyone else's sleep because I'd have to get up at 5 a.m. and sometimes he would wake up at midnight and he would need various things. And Derek was really good about getting up and handling whatever Phoenix needed because he knew that I had to get up really early. So that's when we kind of figured out, okay, we need to figure out a system that works. When I was done working and we went full-time stay-at-home mom, I was like, okay, we're going to do a routine. So that's when Derek and I decided, okay, I'm going to do bedtime 4 days a week and he's going to do it 3. He's going to do it on the weekends and Wednesdays. And that really has helped our sleep in general. And then going to F45 and having to be up be up by 5:15. I mean, I go to sleep very shortly after Phoenix. And I think like that has been a game changer in my sleep. Like, even though Derek still is like, you go to bed so early, like, and I'm like, I don't think 9 o'clock is that early to go to sleep, I guess. But yeah, so I think for now we're in a good place sleep-wise for sure. Okay, so we talked about their sleep time or bedtime routines before. I think there's an episode we did, I don't know, episodes ago that was we talked about our bedtime routines for our kiddos. But what is like Blake's sleep like? Like, does he like prioritize it as much as you, or do you guys kind of like, does he nap? I don't know. What is Blake's sleep like?
So we've actually started to really prioritize sleep, just because with a lot of stress of life, like having enough sleep is really, really important for mental health. If it doesn't do anything else, like we were talking right before we started recording, there's a lot of like discussion and speculation about like weight gain and like obesity and stuff in that relationship with sleep. I think there's way more factors in there that actually affect sleep more than just the fact that you're not sleeping. But as far as mental health, it's like a direct correlation with the ability for your brain to fire on all cylinders, and depression and all that stuff with either sleeping too much or not sleeping enough. So he and I have had quite a few conversations recently about how like we both need to just make sure that we're going to sleep at a decent time and not like staying up super late just because Landon's asleep. And it falls a little bit more lax on the weekends. Like we had a bunch of friends over this weekend, so we didn't go to bed till it was almost 1:00 for the first time in years. Blake and I went to sleep at after 1:00. Like, it's been a long time, and we have been tired since then. Like,
yeah,
we were tired this morning, and we went to bed actually at a pretty decent time, but we were tired this morning still because we were trying to catch up from sleep. Because again, like if you go to bed at 1, your kid's still getting up at 7. You know?
Yeah.
So
Phoenix gets up at like 5:45.
Yeah, you have to sleep when you can sleep. So, yeah, Blake will take a nap in the afternoon if he's here. But like because he's been working from home, but normally like when he's at the office, for work, obviously he wasn't sleeping in the middle of the day, but I've really had to kind of hunker down a little bit of him prioritizing sleep, because even when he was working at the office, he'd get home like late, like 10 or 11 from like, function where like he had to meet clients or whatever. And I'm just like, you need to come home at 6:00. You need to eat dinner, put Landon to sleep, and you need to be in bed by 8:00 because you get up at 6:00 in the morning every day. Like you need to be in bed, so that you're functioning and like, we're not snappy at each other because we're tired. And like, there's just so many negative things that go into your life when you don't sleep. And I'm that person that needs sleep. I think I've learned to function on less consistent sleep and more of a quantity of sleep. I would love to get 8 straight hours of sleep. But right now I'm looking at like maybe 5-ish straight hours of sleep. So, but yeah, no, Blake's, he doesn't have a history of prioritizing sleep now, but does he function better on sleep? 100%. Like he thinks he can only sleep for 4 hours for 5 days in a row. By day 2, he's like a different human being for not getting sleep. So I know that like, I'm like, you need sleep.
Yeah. And I think I've been trying, I think there's like, the two things tied to each other for me, but Derek has this thought process that like, the less amount of sleep that I get, the more productive I'm going to be, and I'll be that much more ahead of everybody else, and this and that. And you have these people that are like, Cristiano Ronaldo wrote an article saying that he wakes for 4 hours and sleeps for 2. So he never is like, doesn't get like 8 hours of consistent sleep, apparently. Mark Wahlberg said he gets 4 hours of sleep a night, which I think has changed. The Rock says he only sleeps for 4 hours. There's a famous, mom actually pointed this out to me, right before Kobe Bryant died, he did an interview, with somebody, I can't remember who it was. It was like a news podcast. And they were talking about sleep, and he was like, I used to be that person that was like, I only need 4 hours of sleep, and I'm going to work out 12 hours a day, and this and that. He was like, I started going crazy. Like, I started, like, not being able to, he's like, I remember one time he was playing a game, and he, like, forgot where he was. Because he was so tired. Like, he was so sleep deprived. And it doesn't matter how much caffeine you pump in your body needs to sleep. And I think people just don't prioritize rest in general. I feel like there's this like kind of idea that like rest
It's
is
such
like
an American idea because the rest of the world does not think that way.
but like rest is somehow laziness and weakness. Like the two things are associated with each other. If you sleep 10 hours a night, you're somehow lazy. And I'm like, I go to bed at 8 o'clock at night. I wake up at 5:15 every day. How many hours of sleep is that? That's 9 hours. I would argue that I am not lazy. I just get things done between 6 o'clock, between 5:15 and 8 o'clock. How many hours is that? 16? I would rather have 16 very productive or 15 very productive hours than 20 like slow paced hours.
Yeah, and you're barely. What I find is like, so yesterday I really like I had a I because of what's happening on Monday. I'm really trying to leave this to my go girl. So stay tuned to hear the exciting news that I have. But because of what's happening on Monday, I wanted to get a bunch of stuff done yesterday, and I was like, well, you know, I went to sleep super late, and then I woke up. I spent the whole day trying to recover from the fact that I was exhausted. Like every time I try to get up, I was like, I have like 9,000 things I need to do, and I am so tired.
Yeah.
I was so tired, and literally, Blake, I was like, you know what, babe, I'm gonna get up. It's like 2, and Blake's like, I was like, I'm gonna take a shower, and he was like, that's fine.
That'll help wake you up.
Yeah, Blake's like, you know what, it'll probably get you up, and I was like, yeah, I just need to get up, and like, I was just so tired, and we spent like so all day Friday. We deep cleaned the entire house because we had friends come over, and we are those people that need the entire house being deep cleaned before we have guests. Like that is one thing when we talked about cleanliness in our podcast that Blake and I agree on. The house has to be spotless for guests. So we scrubbed the whole house on Friday. So Friday and I got up early and like did my devotional and like did some writing and all that stuff. And I've been trying to make it a habit of getting myself up before Landon and Blake wake up to spend some time doing my devotional, spend some time getting some writing done, set my brain up to like tackle the day because I'm not going to F45 right now. So I need to do something to like kickstart
your day.
Yeah. So, but because of that, I got up and did that on Saturday, and then I was just tired. Like the rest of the day, I just wanted to go back to. I got done, and I was like, I just want to go back to sleep. And Landon and Blake were up, so I was like, okay, I guess I'm not going back to sleep. Like, and I'm not a person that can take naps.
Yeah,
I try so hard. It doesn't happen.
I can take naps, but okay. So I was listening to the Girl Next Door podcast, and this kind of prompted me to think about this a little bit. That and the culmination of the conversations I've had with Derek about sleep recently. She was talking about how she takes 17-minute naps during the day if she's exhausted, like to the point that she can't keep her eyes open. Apparently there was a study done where this woman said, you know, she worked with like her doctor or whatever. And apparently there's some science behind the fact that if you set an alarm for 20 minutes and you're super tired, you will probably drift off in about 3 and you'll sleep for 17. If you sleep past 17, you start to cross into the groggy stage. So that's why people end up sleeping for 2 hours, because their body just shuts down. It goes into like, it's so tired that it thinks, oh, we're about to sleep for 10 hours because we haven't been sleeping. So we're going to go into like regular, we're about to sleep for 8 to 10 hour mode. And then that's why you end up with like that side effect of like being overtired and this and that. So,
I've actually heard that, but I thought it was 20 minutes. So it's 17 now.
So it's 20. You set the alarm for 20, but it's actually 17 minutes because on average it takes you about 3 minutes to go to sleep. Also, it says even if you don't actually fall asleep, just laying quietly for 20 minutes will rejuvenate you, apparently. I would just say that I attempted this the other day. It didn't go great.
I feel like it would just make me mad.
That's what I think 30 minutes is the key for me. I think that's what people were saying before was 30 minutes. I think 30 minutes is the key for me because, and maybe it's only 20 minutes, but then I need to lay there for another 15 minutes of like coaxing myself to get back out of the bed type of situation. But I do notice that if I do take a 20, 30-minute nap in the middle of the day, around like 1:30 or 2, when I go to pick up Phoenix from school, I'm ready to go for the last half of the day. So, yeah. So, I mean, I think that's like, we'll wrap up like our short little chat about sleep. Basically, in case you guys don't know, sleep, if you are not sleeping as an adult, you're supposed to have minimum of 7 hours of sleep per night. If you have toddlers in the age range that we have, it says Phoenix is supposed to get 12 hours of sleep a day. So he still takes a 2-hour nap at school. So he needs 10 hours at night, which is why I put him to sleep at between 7:30 and 8 because the boy wakes up at 6. They also said that if you have early rising children, to try to convince them not to get out of the bed before 6:30 in the morning. I don't know what the science behind that is, but there's some science behind that. 4 hours of sleep is not enough. I know that's like the magic number right now is everyone's saying they need 4 hours of sleep. You will start to get delirious. You will probably start to gain weight. It will not be safe for you to drive. Your brain basically will start shutting down. It's going to start taking energy away from other functioning systems in your body because it hasn't had a chance to restart. So it's like keeping your car running all day long. Eventually the battery is going to redrain. And you know how you're going to restart your battery? You're going to have to jump it and let it run for a little bit. And if you drain it, that's it. So, yeah, so that's it. That's like my little lecture on sleep. Yeah, my goal girl this week is that I am continuing to put up content, on my YouTube. I've switched from doing a daily vlog to doing a weekly. I think I've finally got a pattern. A weekly vlog. So probably will vlog the Saturday and Sunday and put up a vlog on Wednesdays and then shoot a non-vlog related video for Wednesdays. I think that's what's going to work for me because Monday through Friday, it's very boring here. It's just me.
Yeah.
So, and I'm usually sitting quietly studying right now or watching television. That's not really entertaining to vlog. So I'm going to try to do that and then, yeah, shoot some content throughout the week of whatever various thing and put it up or whatever. So, but yeah, that's my go girl. I'm really proud of myself for sticking to it. So what is yours?
That's awesome. Mine is that I got a job.
Woohoo!
Yay! I start my first day tomorrow. I am going to be doing something that I never in a million years thought I would ever be doing. It's accounts payable, which is accounting, like it's in the accounting department of a property management company. And I never thought I'd be doing that. But it's basically, if you're a stay-at-home mom, it is what you do with your bills. It's that.
Yeah.
So you do it for like a company. And you organize it into like a system that has like spreadsheets and you like get all the bills and you scan them into a system. It's dotted data entry and like it's something I can easily do because I do it for my household anyway. So I feel like it's just a bigger scale and it's a really good stepping stone into the industry I want to be in because it's still in real estate, but it's the financial part of it, which is probably the part of it that I felt the least comfortable. Like I could walk into a house and like know the history and study the architecture of a house easily because I'm super interested in that. But as far as the financial stuff and the numbers and stuff, that's the part that I was a little bit concerned about understanding. So it's basically kind of like starting in a restaurant as like a host and eventually becoming the GM. So that's kind of the place I'm working at. So the spot I'm working through, but I'm really excited about it. So I start Monday. It's a full solid, guys. This is a 8 to 5 job, Monday through Fridays. Don't work weekends. I am an adult at 31 years old.
Woohoo!
So I'm so happy.
Yay, that is exciting.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I think that will sum us up for this episode. Thank you guys again for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode and let us know if you're getting sleep. I know during the pandemic, maybe people have been able to prioritize their sleep a little bit more with your kids not going to school and working from home and, you know, whatever else is going on. Or maybe your sleep's gotten worse because your kids are staying up super late. Who knows? Has sleep just fallen off? Do you not care about sleep anymore and everyone just kind of falls on the floor where they may? I don't know. But let us know, please, if you want to tell us your thoughts. You can hit us up on Instagram. You can email us at twinlifepodcast@gmail.com. And we will talk to you guys next week.